Hi everyone, and welcome to Free Range Diva, where you will find helpful information to enhance your beauty and wellness routines. My name is Cheryl, and today I'm going to be talking about my 2-year journey with intermittent fasting. I started intermittent fasting in January of 2022, and in this video I'm going to talk to you about the things that I love about it, the things that worked really well, the weight I've lost, the weight I gained back, and the struggles that I have had maintaining a consistent weight. So let's jump into it. So yes, it's been 2 years since I started intermittent fasting by doing the 10-day belly slim down, and from that I fell right into the intermittent fasting time-restricted eating pattern using the 16-8 time-restricted eating window, so you fast for 16 hours and you eat for 8. So I've done a few videos on intermittent fasting, but I did a really good one called Why I Love Intermittent Fasting, and I went in depth into all the benefits that it can give you depending on what type of fast that you choose to do. I have done what's called time-restricted eating, and that's a 16-hour fast followed by an 8-hour eating window. And I should also say that I do a clean fast, so I may have tea with nothing in it, just straight herb tea in the evenings after dinner, but in the mornings I only drink water. There are other things that you can drink, like coffee without sugar or bone broth or things like that. I just do a clean fast, only water in the mornings. This video is probably going to be all over the place because I have notes right here, but I'm so scatterbrained they're not in any particular order, so I will try and fix that in post. But for now, I'm just going to talk my way through this because there is a lot of interesting things in here that I hope you will find interesting, especially if you've considered it, or you've done it, or you've had, like me, a few years of experience with it. So during the 16 hours when you're not eating, something called cellular housekeeping occurs in the body. This is when the body has a chance to, because it's not digesting food or anything, it has a chance to clean out any cellular waste that has accumulated during the day and kind of retune all of its different functions for the next day. You're also sleeping a significant period of the 16-hour fast, and so that is how that allows this cellular clean out to really happen. Also for me, I find that the 16-hour fast with an 8-hour eating window is very easy to sustain. There's no calorie counting, no weighing, portion control, nothing like that. You eat until you're satiated, until you're full, and then you stop. So for these reasons, especially for women in our age range, 16-8 is a very sustainable time-restricted eating pattern. It also boosts your metabolic rate, and depending on what you are eating and how you're eating, it retrains your body to burn fat for fuel instead of burning glucose or sugar. So I did, like I said, I did a lot of videos on what I eat, how I eat. I basically changed my diet from kind of a medium amount of fat and a lot of carbs, and switched to actually higher amounts of protein, higher amounts of fat, and less carbs. And the carbs that I ate were not sugar type carbs. They were more complex carbs, like of any variety of vegetables. I did minimize grains, so breads, pastas, rice, that sort of thing. But otherwise, I didn't have a problem with a potato, sweet potato or white potato. And if I wanted that, that's what I would eat. And so I was able to lose weight consistently with minimal amount of effort, always feeling energetic, well-nourished, never feeling like I was deprived of anything. And I did several videos on like what I eat when I'm intermittent fasting to give you an idea of some of the types of foods that I would have for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, because during that 8 hours, I always ate 3 good meals and no snacks. That's a hard and fast rule, and I have not changed that to this day. I still eat 3 good meals, no snacks. After about a year into it, spring of 2023, I had lost enough weight that I was back down to the weight that I was when I was in high school. Now, I'm going to throw out a few numbers here, but just keep in mind that I'm 5'4". I have a medium-sized frame, so for my height and my bone structure, the weight that I was in high school, which was 110 pounds, was a good weight for me. But I did not want to lose any more. So I had to, at that point, my challenge was to learn how to stop the weight loss, maintain the weight, without switching my body back into belly fat, putting on belly fat, because that was always my biggest challenge. I wanted to lose the fat around the middle, and I did. I wanted to have a flat stomach and a defined waist, and I did all that. That did happen. So I did not want to start putting on weight around my middle again, and so I kind of struggled with how to tweak my diet to maintain without losing, but without gaining, and particularly without gaining belly fat. However, I was very happy that when I went to my 50-year high school reunion in May of 2023, I was 110 pounds. I was right at my high school weight. So the dilemma, as I said, was how to maintain, and I decided that I would add in complex carbs in the form of things like sprouted whole grain rice. I would cook biscuits and little, like bread things made out of sprouted whole grain, whole wheat. I also added back in sourdough bread. And that worked for a while. Actually, I kind of went up to 112 and then just kind of settled in around 112, 111. And I thought, okay, I got this figured out. And everything was great until November and November and December of last year. And that is when I developed something in my ear called pulsatile tinnitus or tinnitus, where you hear your heartbeat in your ear. And it was keeping me up all night. It was driving me literally crazy because I couldn't get away from the sound. There was no escape. So I saw a doctor and they put me on a steroid nasal spray. At the same time, I had started to notice weird objects or things in my field of vision that shouldn't be there. So I saw an ophthalmologist. She needed to dilate my eyes to see what was going on, but could not, because although I had no signs of glaucoma at the time, my pressure was normal. The tunnel or whatever it is that causes the pressure exchange of fluids going in and out of the eye was too narrow, and if she dilated my eyes, it could have triggered an episode of glaucoma. So she she did 2 laser surgeries, 1 in each eye, to open up that exchange. That caused me to need, during the month of November and December, I was also on steroid eye drops. So between the two, I started noticing that I was hungry all the time. I could not get to that feeling of satiety, of being satiated, of being full. I would eat, an hour later, I would be starving. So I tried adding more food in as I was eating so that I would not be snacky between meals. And as a result, I think the steroids also slowed my metabolism down because I was exhausted, because I wasn't able to sleep because of the noise in my ears. And as a result of that, I wasn't exercising as much as I normally would. I was just too tired. I could barely get through the day and get the things done that I had to get done, and it just wasn't a priority. So all that put together, I ended up gaining a pound a week during the course of November, December, and finally it started trickling off in January when I was taken off both of those steroid medications. My eyes turned out to be perfectly fine. I was having something called an ocular migraine that was causing the issues, which is normal, a normal thing. And my ear also corrected itself because the nasal spray worked really well to lower the volume. In the issue that I had was with my station tube, so it lowered the volume of the the heartbeat. And then finally, after talking to my doctor, and she said something that triggered something that kind of really sat with me, which was stress could make all of this stuff worse. And when I had developed these symptoms, I stopped taking my herbal remedy, the Chinese medicine remedy that I took for stress, because I didn't know. I stopped taking everything. I didn't know what was causing it or what wasn't causing it. And so when she said that, I went back on that herbal remedy, and that did it. The noise finally went away. It has not come back. I can move around. I can sleep on either side of the bed, and no more noise in my ears of any kind. Not pulsatile tinnitus or just the usual tinnitus that I have suffered with for years. So this is a really good thing because my sleep has been restored. Actually, I sleep better now than I ever did before. However, the one thing that didn't revert back was the weight. It has stayed. I stopped gaining, but I was not able to lose. So I top in about 120 is my top right now, and I kind of settle around 118. And I haven't figured out yet how to, I know, I'll put it this way. I know what I need to do to lose, and that is to remove a lot of, go back on these sort of high fat, high protein, and less carbs. And so I'm doing that now. I've also been able to add more exercise back in. The last year, I have an exercise buddy. And so once a week on Wednesday mornings, we meet up and we go do a 30-minute walk around a nature track that we have in our neighborhood. So I always get a good walk on Wednesday, and then I try to get one more in during the week. And then I've been adding things in like more strength, and hoping that at least if the weight doesn't come off, at least I will have more muscle. I am happy to say, however, that although I did gain weight, I did not gain the belly fat. And again, that's got to be due to the 16-8 and what that does biologically to your digestive system. The visceral fat around the middle has not come back. My waist has maintained. I think I put on like a ½ inch on my waist. So in terms of that, that visceral fat is probably the most unhealthiest fat that you can carry around in your body. So thank goodness that has not returned. When I was on the steroids, I had these cravings for things, not for sugar, not for desserts. No, I wanted raisins, I wanted nuts, I wanted anything salty that was crunchy, so chips, and it wouldn't stop. I could get a bowl full of raisins and a bowl full of nuts, sit down and eat the whole thing, all within my eating window. Just gobble it all up before 6, which is when I close my eating window. And then I wouldn't be hungry the rest of the night. Well, those cravings at least have calmed down a lot. I can now eat a handful of nuts and a few raisins, and I'm fine. So although I stay away from both. And going forward, I think what I'm going to do is add in more healthy fats. So I've started if I'm having a plate of vegetables, I'll pour a little extra olive oil over it. I'm adding in butter, ghee, olive oil, more avocados, just things that I know will, although it may not help with the satiety, but at least I know that when I finish eating, I'm not still wanting something else. And sometimes, like this morning, I woke up and I was starving. And that never happened before. One of the nice things, again, that I liked about intermittent fasting is I could wake up in the morning and I wasn't starving. I just drink some water and I would be fine until 10 a.m. when I would start eating. 10 to 6 is my eating window, by the way. And at one point I thought about increasing it to 7. I tried it a few days and I didn't like it. So 10 to 6 instead of 10 to 7, which would have made my time-restricted eating 15-9. I didn't like it. So 16-8 seems to be the sweet spot for me. Working with that, I'm adding in more fat to my diet, and we'll just see if, and more protein actually, because sometimes the two go hand in hand. So instead of having 2-egg omelet, I will have 3. I haven't really been into like cheese. That is another, other than cottage cheese. I've started eating more cottage cheese. So that's it. That's the check-in. My intermittent fasting experience is coming from someone who is 68 years old, someone who has been active her whole life, and someone who struggled with belly fat, weight gain, even before I went through menopause. It just got worse afterwards. So yeah, I haven't had to go up in my clothing size or anything like that. I'm still able to wear the same clothes that I wore when I was at 110. They're just a little more snug. But you know, we'll see. I mean, I'm going to give it a month on this new higher healthy fat diet or additions and see if the weight starts to come off. And like I said, I don't have cravings so much, but you know, sometimes after dinner I don't feel satiety. So I'm kind of chasing that feeling of satiety again to get back to that. So that's it. That's going to wrap it up for today. Good grief, I've been talking almost 25 minutes. Yeah, so I hope this video makes sense. I hope it's helpful. I hope you get something out of it. Like I said, if it's a little disjointed, I'll try and fix that in the editing process so it flows and you won't get bored. And yeah, if you have any experience with intermittent fasting or you want to try it, let me know down in the comments below. If you have any questions, let me know those down in the comments below. If you liked the video, then please give it a thumbs up. That helps me and it helps the channel. And if you'd like to see more from me, then please consider subscribing. And don't forget to hit the notification bell so you don't miss a thing here at Free Range Diva. So yeah, all right, I'm Cheryl. I'm going to let you go. And until I see you in my next video, I'm going to wish you a wonderful day, a wonderful week. Take good care of yourselves, and I will talk to you again very, very soon. Bye.